Hey traders, welcome to this week's weekly market wrap-up and outlook. So we're just going to have a look here on the S&P started off, and what we see from last week is on Monday we didn't get that bullish momentum we were looking for straight off the bat. In fact, we just opened up and then just tanked all the way down to this trend line here, which on the lower time frames is pretty key. So on the 4 hour and 60 minute. Now we did bounce off that. Let me just quickly show you. We bounced off it and then broke out of this pennant formation. So you can see quite clearly with the upper sloping trend line and the downward sloping trend line broke out of it very cleanly. Now ended the Friday there on this sort of candle. So this is it's a bit of a fat doji, meaning that there could be a bit of profit selling or profit taking here. So it's good to see this daily momentum still keeping up quite well. What we could see is a quick pullback. So as traders look to get back in after selling, could see a quick pullback into this area and then start to head higher again, and probably looking to target this sort of area here as long as this bullish momentum overall keeps up. So if it does, then again from last week, still the same thing, keeping an eye out for any opportunity along this sort of area here. Now let's move on to UVXY, starting to break back into this trend line, and like we were saying last week, we could see this head lower, quite a bit lower, probably into this area before any sort of reversion might happen if the S&P starts to sell off or anything. So that's one thing to keep an eye on. Oil, very interesting. It's a little bit choppy here on the intraday or on the daily here, because we have what up, down. You know, it's no clear direction right now. It is slowly starting to tick higher, so it is something of interest. But one or two things to keep an eye on is there's a bit of a trend line here, and you know, you could almost say it's in a bearish channel here. If it breaks above that, then yes, a lot of shorts who are shorting this could get stopped out pretty quick. That's one thing to keep an eye on. Let's have a look at lithium. Lithium's starting to actually really perk off these lows really, really nicely. The individual stocks that we keep an eye on and have positions in are actually doing quite well. A few of them have yet to pick up. So yeah, it's really nice to see this market starting to pick up a little bit further, and obviously just build into those positions as things go in our favor. There's nothing on Bitcoin and nothing on Ripple, nothing worth reporting. Neo started to break out really nicely from last week. Did quite well. Closed on Friday there as a doji. Not surprised really, because if we look left here, see there's a bit of resistance here, but here's the key thing. It's broken out of this trend line, so that's fine. What we're looking for is probably a pullback that maybe mid-7, maybe like 740, 750, before it's starting to tick higher. It's really, really crowded with shorts at the minute. A lot of people are shorting this, and the thing is, it's a high borrow rate, so I don't really see the point in shorting something which is over like 100%. Let me see. So just to show you here, so the borrow fee rate to hold this per year is something like 165% when you compare it to Facebook, which is like 0.25% if you were to short it. So it's insane to try and short something which is a lowish float. Really, really good fundamentals. The only negative thing it did have last week was a offering type news, but it wasn't that bad once you dug into it. I had a position that stopped out, but I re-entered again, and I'm looking to take this a lot higher. CGC, not much here. There is a bit of momentum here, but I think this is a little bit overdone. We could see this pull back to low 40s, high 30s, and then look to see if there's any opportunity in there. IQ, not bad looking. I like this longer term chart, and key thing about it here is the phone maker, I don't know how to pronounce that, Xiaomi or whatever it is, has taken a position, which is 6.9 or 7% basically, in IQ, which is quite interesting. So that's quite good. That sort of helped to move the stock a little bit the other day, this little move here. I would say once that sort of news filters through over the next few days, it should hopefully help it, go up a bit further. But longer term, this could be a good reversal type stock. Let's have a quick look at gold. Move this up here. Gold is starting to pull back, and if we were to draw on a trend line of that sort of nature, it's one I've missed, so you could have taken it as a potential entry on the lower time frames, but hey. And finally is OSTK, one of my favorite looking charts at the minute, both on a fundamental and technical perspective. Now, I'm not going to go over the fundamentals at all here. I'm going to save that for the watch list. A couple of things I'll briefly go over on the technical side is it's really oversold. So if you remember from the course material, oversoldness, and if a stock's really oversold, you look for other indicators such as support, as it's been resting for a while, things like that there, and then look for lower time frame confirmation as to where to get in and out. Now I'm going to go over that in the blog post on our watch list and see exactly where it is we're looking to get in, where we're looking to risk off, and probably looking to target, and how long we're looking to probably hold this for as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks.